Hi everyone, it's Ali here with more songwriting tips for you. Welcome back to anyone that's been subscribed for a while, and hello to any new subscribers joining us for the first time. It's great to have you. Today I'm going to talk about how we can practice songwriting. In the second video we talked quite a bit about why we should analyse songs and how it can help us improve our songwriting. So today I wanted to actually show you how you can take these ideas that we've gathered from various songs that we like and how we can actually use it to help us write better songs. So coming up is my top tips on how to practice songwriting. Okay, so before we can begin, we need to take the songs we've analysed previously and turn them into frameworks. These frameworks act as creative boundaries and starting points for our song ideas. Perhaps we've been writing songs, but we're not very happy with the quality of our ideas, or we've been struggling to come up with ideas at all. These frameworks can act as a starting point and also help us improve the quality of our ideas since we've taken these frameworks from songs we already like. These frameworks don't have to be anything complicated. It might be, for example, a simple melodic framework where you have a 4-bar phrase and the first phrase is repeated twice, followed by a contrasting phrase that's also repeated twice. This may be helpful if you've been struggling to write a melody that's catchy or memorable. You can use this framework to improve the quality of your melody. Once we've got lots of different frameworks like this, we can use them as a toolbox to just pull out whenever we need to come up with an idea or to improve an idea that we're currently working on. These will drastically improve the songs we write and help us to come up with better and better songs, and also to come up with them more naturally as we embed them into our thoughts, and as we're writing they just come out more naturally. So these frameworks don't have to be anything complicated. For example, it might just be a simple melodic framework where you have a 4-bar phrase and the first phrase is repeated twice, followed by a contrasting phrase that's also repeated twice. This is a simple idea that if you've been struggling to write melodies that are catchy or memorable, you can use to improve the quality of your melody. Once we've got lots of different frameworks like this, whether they're simple or more complex, we can use them almost as a toolbox, just to pull out whenever we need an idea to either improve a song we're working on or to improve a simple idea that we're working on. We can use these as tools to increase the quality of our songwriting. So I'm now going to go through some different frameworks and show you how to actually use them to help you write song ideas. This is by no means going to be an exhaustive list. It's just some different examples to show you how you can actually use them. That way, after the end of this video, you can not only use the song ideas and frameworks that I've gone through in this video, but you can take the songs that you like and come up with your own frameworks and then use them in your own songwriting to help you write the song ideas that you're going to like. First, let's look at that melody idea we were talking about before, where we have a 4-bar phrase with the first phrase repeated twice, followed by a second phrase also repeated twice. Let's have a look at what that might sound like if we use that as a framework. Someday I'll soar high above this mountain. Someday I'll be the longest scared of fall. When I am confident the air will hold me. When I am confident the air will hold me. Someday I'll soar high above this mountain. Someday I'll be the longest scared of fall. When I am confident the air will hold me. When I am confident the air will hold me. So that was an example of that 4-bar melody framework. where we have the first phrase repeated twice, followed by a contrasting second phrase repeated twice. You could do this with other aspects of the melody too. For instance, you might focus on more of the rhythm aspects. So you might keep the rhythm repetition, so that you might have a rhythm repeating for the first half of the melody and then a secondary rhythm repeating for the second half. But actually the melody might change along with that rhythm rather than repeating the melody. Or perhaps you might focus on the starting notes of your melody. Perhaps you're getting a bit bored of starting on the same note every time, and you always find you just perhaps start on the root or the third, and you just want to break out of that rut. You could do the same for the end note. You might be used to just ending on the root, for example, and you could try ending on different notes. If that's something you're finding that you're getting a bit bored with. You can also focus on the shape of the melody. So if you always start on a lower note and rise up for somewhere in the middle of the phrase and then drop down for the second half, you could play around with that, trying something different. Perhaps having more of a straight melody where you actually don't move around in pitch too much and it's more based on the rhythm. Or perhaps you want to start on a high note and then end on a low note, or whatever you might want to try. Just focus on what you're doing already and try some different things, come up with some different frameworks to help you break out and help you improve your melodies. So some other examples of frameworks you could try out could be keys, for example. You might be used to writing on guitar and writing in the keys of E, A, D, G quite a lot. They're very common for writing on guitar. And perhaps you're getting a bit bored of that. You could try writing with a capo that would take you into perhaps some keys you're not used to writing in. Or you could try writing on piano. If you're not used to doing that, that might give you some different keys. Or perhaps it's just more that you play in major keys quite a lot and you could try writing into minor keys. Or even try writing in a mode, for example. You might be used to just writing in major or minor keys, and perhaps a mode would give you some new inspiration and help you to come up with some new ideas. You could try different time signatures. It's not that common to play outside of 4/4 or particularly common time signatures, but you could try writing in, for instance, 6/8 or 12/8 if you haven't done any of that, or even some more obscure ones like 3/4 in 7 in 5, for instance. Stuff like Sting's 7 Days and obviously Money, things like that, well-known songs that have been written in odd time signatures. This can really help you, particularly with melody, to come up with some more interesting ideas than perhaps you're used to, and to perhaps break out of ruts that you're stuck in, and just to push yourself to come up with some more interesting ideas and some fresh ideas that perhaps you've not really come up with before. You might want to experiment with frameworks for song structure. If you're used to just writing in verse-chorus format, you might want to try either just experimenting with the order that you put them in. So rather than just going verse 1 to chorus, verse 2 chorus, you might want to try having verse 1 and verse 2 and then going to the chorus, or even starting with the chorus, all that kind of thing. You can go into verses after the bridge. You can experiment with that, or even try different song forms altogether. Maybe try writing in a 12-bar form or writing something completely different. But that can help you to break out again of different kind of ruts that you may have got into, and you just may be getting a bit bored of those, so you can try some different structures. You can also try some different harmonic frameworks. Perhaps you're not used to using anything outside of the diatonic chords in the key, but perhaps you could try some modal mixture, borrowing from other keys, taking chords from those. We've looked at a lot of songs in the analysis we've done where they've borrowed chords from other keys, and it can really help to add interest to the song. So if you've not done that, I'd recommend having a look and coming up with some frameworks of your own to help you experiment with borrowing chords from other modes. You might also want to practice some different frameworks for your lyrical ideas. They don't have to just apply to music. We can also use them for the lyrics. It might be that you come up with frameworks for different rhyming schemes. So if you're used to just randomly using rhyme schemes throughout the song, or perhaps you don't really use rhyme at all, you could try using different rhyme schemes. Or it might be something like list form writing that you've not really used before. You could experiment with that. Again, you can use frameworks for anything. It doesn't have to be just for music, you could try using it for the lyrics too, if perhaps you're getting stuck with lyrics or want some different ideas and things you can practice lyrically. So that's everything. I hope you've got lots of ideas of how you can practice your songwriting. You can now go away and come up with your own frameworks from songs you've analysed and help you improve your songwriting. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video.